Welcome, and this is In the Know, where we talk a little bit about what's going on in the world around us. Just to jump right in, we put out some feelers in regards to our topic this week, which is reparations. So tonight on our show, Your Voice on Reparations, we're going to be discussing those comments. So I just want to start with a real quick passage. I'm going to read this so I don't miss anything. Central to the idea of the American dream lies an assumption that we all have an equal opportunity to generate the kind of wealth that brings meaning to the words life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Boldly penned in the Declaration of Independence, the American dream portrays that with hard work, a person can own a home, start a business, and grow a nest egg for generations to draw upon. This belief, however, has been defied repeatedly by the U.S. government's own decrees that denied wealth-building opportunities to Black America. That leads us into reparations and your voice on the subject.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments on that. Doc
We
V.
did. So do I want to read my comment?
Yeah, we're gonna start with you, Doc V. And we're gonna work our way down the panel.
All right,
That's
sounds good.
with everybody.
Okay. Let me get to it. I had it.
You had it.
know how technology works.
Yeah, that was
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
Great.
Okay. This is from, I'll say, Brother K. Muhammad. Everyone in the world, including this government, knows it's overdue. Old and overdue. Biden just signed an $80 billion plus executive order for immediate aid to Ukraine, which included money, weapons, uniforms, humanitarian supplies, ammunition, and guaranteed future support. Let's talk about that right there. So let's pause. Guaranteed future support for Ukraine.
Yes.
What was that number? Can you repeat the number?
80 billion.
Billion with the B.
With the B.
Okay,
Yes.
I was just checking.
Yeah, and just, all of the other stuff.
Right. Well,
As if that wasn't enough.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, so guaranteed.
there's 2 points I want to address, Brother Kevin, and he made very great points on it. The first point is the $80 billion in the executive order. Biden a couple of days ago said America was going into some kind of financial crisis. Where did he get this $80 billion from in a day or two time? Maybe a week. I'm going to give him a whole week. Where did he raise $80 billion in a week's time that he can send it somewhere
maybe
else?
that's what he was meaning.
That's what he was meaning. We about to loan our last dollars out. So
Yeah, we're going to loan our last dollars out to a whole nother country and not take care of our own. Well, that's a whole nother conversation right there.
Yeah. So where did this money? And the troubling is, even if we're in a financial crisis, if we go beyond reparations, but we're going to hit that. Where did this magic $80 billion? Where did they pull this from?
We got to make sure you keep that straight.
$80 billion. And secondly, when he said guaranteed future support, that means that when they rebuild, who's going to give them finances to rebuild?
So you said we got to come up with some more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, not just
the
backs and labor.
Well, you already know if the United States giving out money like that, and that means they finna go over there and take over something.
Put an embassy somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, they finna go over and take over something. I mean, at that point, the United States are bullies.
I don't disagree with that.
So I'm finna come over. Yeah, I'm gonna give you this, but I'm finna come over and set up shop, and I'm finna, instead of letting somebody else drain you for your natural resources or your resources, guess what? You owe us now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go
Jill.
What is, this speaks, is there more to this comment?
Yeah, there's more.
Okay, because I think I know, I'm going to keep mine because I think mine goes.
Okay, and so I just wanted to add, because I thought this was a good comment. The rest of the story is, so outside of the guaranteed future support, he also says, so if they wanted to provide money, land, and resources for the descendants of slaves to make this country great, they could do it overnight. I do agree with that. However, this goes to show that they have no intentions to do so. Therefore, I like this positive right here. Therefore, God would be merciful to them if they tried to do something to right the wrongs. So instead, they will lose it all. And God himself is giving the whole earth to us as our reparations.
And, so the part that I
Boom.
pick out of this, lovely comment, by the
Yes,
way.
yes.
The part I
Thank
pick
you,
out of this
Kay.
is when I hear you talking about all this money that's been sent, not for the first time to
No.
Ukraine, and not just this time, and not just this president. And this president is from the Democratic Party. Okay, interesting. So when I hear this, I literally hear bluntly, nothing's going to happen because it would have happened already. And it could, like he said, overnight happen. So this is your Democratic Party that makes all of these promises to people who are looking for the reparations.
Right.
That's what I take.
I got to take Jill to school real quick. I got to take Jill to school real quick.
No, don't take me to school because it's
I
not
got-
going to change my mind.
No, but I you preface something, and I want you to understand the whole totality of what you said. Reparations was promised by the Republican Party.
Right, but he is but Biden, why did a lot of people vote for Biden? Because he's a what?
It doesn't matter.
But what is he?
It doesn't matter.
It does
You're
matter.
you're trying to preface
It does
something
matter.
that, as you stated before, that many presidents before there were more Republican presidents, check your history, than there were Democratic presidents. So, who had the most chance to set
But
forth
that's not my
reparations?
point. That's
of course, that's your point.
My point is this. My point is
That's your point.
Democratic people who run for the Democratic Party, they make these. So do Republicans. They all make the promises. But my point is, everything that was said a lot of times, and somebody made the comment, is for a vote because
That's
you've made
true.
all
I'll
these
agree with you on
promises.
that.
That's my point.
Okay.
Is a lot of presidents speak to the Democratic Party making all of these promises
We're election vote.
for a
election thought.
vote.
They do.
For a vote, exactly.
We are election thought. I mean, haven't Americans seen that, and we haven't understood that for the longest. We are an election thought. That's
Right.
it.
Right.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Right. And the facts are, so along with what you're saying, Clarence, is 155 years later, if we just look at that. So you back all the way up.
Yes.
So it's time now. It was time way back then.
Right.
So, I'm not protecting Biden because he has the bill on his desk. I get it. He should have been signed it.
Been signed.
Being in the office with President Obama.
Obama
So
should have signed it.
Obama should have signed it, but
Trump should have signed
Trump
it.
should have
Bush
signed
should
it.
have signed
Period.
it. Carter should have
Right.
signed
All the Bushes should have signed it.
Exactly.
Clinton, the Reagans, whoever, everybody should have signed this
Right,
bill.
exactly. And so all I'm saying, so the bill was on the desk the first day Biden stepped
right.
into the White House as
Right.
president. So no excuses there. They're saying they're studying the bill and the reparations and what it would look like and what all we would want. And so they're in the midst of studying. I'm
What are you
talking
studying?
about.
What are you
I
studying?
have no idea. So I'm talking about the
Study shows,
Biden
studies this,
team.
studies this.
So, but meanwhile, I'm saying, so back to that, it's been long overdue. But if we look at history and why they wouldn't push it, and let's just say the Republicans or the white people, they wouldn't push
Wait a minute,
it
you can't say that.
No. But let me finish this
Go
point.
ahead.
Let me finish this point.
Go ahead.
You're gonna see where I'm getting ready to go with this.
I'm listening.
Because in the year of 2000, so if we go just there, because we know how
22
far
years
we
ago.
can go back, and we're going to talk
22
about
years
that
ago.
more tomorrow.
Right.
But just in the year of 2000, there was only 4% of white Americans that even believed that we deserved reparations.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So I
That's
wasn't
fact.
looking for it to be signed by a Republican
That's a fact.
Party
Right.
or anybody of Caucasian.
Well,
ahead.
I'm finna just be blunt.
Oh, we love it when you're blunt.
Yeah, I thought we were all being blunt right now.
No,
We're being honest.
Not this
I'm-
blunt.
Well, I'm just saying,
finna
this is neutral voices, and we're talking about the voice of the people on our
here's the
in
thing.
the know segment.
Here's the thing about reparations, and this is just my take.
When he rubbing his hands
Oh, yeah.
together, it's getting
Yeah.
ready to
Take
be
it how you
good.
want it. Just enjoy your night. If we were to say segregated,
Okay.
we wouldn't have to ask for nothing.
Okay. Yeah, that falls
Period.
into my question as to how can we do.
If we
better
would have
and
stayed,
how
if
can
we would have
change
stayed,
things.
if we would have stayed in the state that we were in,
Yeah.
we wouldn't have to ask for anything. Reason why? Because now we don't have to ask nobody what can we teach our kids. We don't have to ask nobody can we open up a shop. We don't have to ask nobody can we buy a house. if we would have stayed
Which
in our
area?
in which area, if we would have stayed in our own zone and went and said, okay, you don't want us over here, we over here, leave us alone,
Right.
and watch us build.
You're right. We wouldn't have to worry about.
We wouldn't have to worry about relying or asking for anybody or America that didn't even want us didn't even include us in the Constitution. Anything. When I tell you, I mean, I would have been I've been going to your shop at all times. I would have been going to Clarence. You would have been coming to me. And our money would have generated amongst us, and that would have made us grow to a point where we ain't got to ask you no more. We ain't asking to come to the table. We sitting at the table.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love that.
That is
I was going to say, so you feel like, okay, you went straight in for the main course. I like that. You said we not playing with this tonight. I was trying to do Michael Jackson's Let It Marinate for a minute before we get to that.
Well, the thing about it, if you look at it, J. Edgar Hoover said the biggest threat to America is the united of the Negro.
Okay.
So if they let us unite, now we have to say, can we unite? Mm-hmm. If we would have stayed in that mindset where we was at, there would have been no question, nothing to be said. Right. It's not saying we don't like white people. It's saying we're in our zone over here.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Let us have our zone.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
position of power.
That's a wonderful point. I feel like the rest of us need to leave the stage because that was really great. I want to remind you also to join us tomorrow because this is going to be a very good discussion. But let's go ahead and move on to our next comment.
Our next comment comes from one of our friends, and he's not ashamed to have his name said. That's Pastor Curry, and he said, "Pastor, what's up with you, man?" Pastor Curry. He says, "My opinion is that we are long overdue of what is owed to Black people. Several races receive reparations and reparations to include slave owners who had to let Black people go. Not only what was promised, but we want compound interest on what was promised. 40 acres and a mule. Can y'all imagine what 40 acres and a mule would be like today?
Yes.
So compound interest, and that's a good point. And we're going to talk about this, but let me get his point out. Compound interest of reparations, which would be close to the closing the wealth gap. Black people and other ethnic groups, between Black people and other ethnic groups, I can see Black people did not do anything and asked for it, but countries was built on the backs of Black people, and it is what it is today and what is owed. Mm-hmm. So, think about it. 40 acres and a mule. 40 acres and a mule. In that time, I think for 40 acres, you could pay like $10, $20 for an acre. So, $400 at that time. And a mule might have cost you about $200-$300. So that's over 200 years.
So you saying that's all we were promised after the Civil War?
But think about it. In that time, that's a lot.
Right. I'm just saying. So that's it. So that's all we were asking for.
That's all. We didn't even ask for that.
I was going to say.
We didn't ask
that
for
was promised to us.
That's the problem.
Right. That was promised.
We never asked for reparations.
Yes.
They told us when
we
set you free, this is what you're going to get.
That's right.
So if you promise something to us, what's taking you so long to fulfill your promise?
That's right.
But I'm on this compound interest. Think about it. $400 for 200 years? Man.
Are you coming up with a number?
Man, that's in the billions. That has to be in the billions.
Yeah.
It has to be. And I think last night, Doc V, didn't we have a conversation?
Well, we did. We had a number, but we're going to talk more about the numbers tomorrow night.
Yeah, let's play with the numbers tomorrow.
I was going to say, so we want, let people think on it.
Yeah.
What do you think that amount is? And what would it be?
All right. But also, think about this. Why were slave owners given reparations? They were paid for loss of property. Mm-hmm. You can research this. This is not even made up. They were paid for loss of property.
Mm-hmm. So once again,
I got you, but I'm just saying they were paid for loss of property. But again, they asked for it because they were saying, "Look, we're running out of business. We never asked for anything. You said we're going to give you. So give us what you told us. That's all we asking. Give us what you said."
Right. Well, I mean, if we was considered property.
You are considered property.
Well, we are considered property. Okay. So why would we give property anything?
Well, and we don't want to. We don't want to put that out there and highlight it, but
I'm just asking a question.
I got a question.
I
got an answer. But I was trying to say that for tomorrow.
I know. He's trying to serve it.
Oh, I
Can you ask it tomorrow?
I just say he's trying to serve it up.
Yeah.
I want to say this to that.
I got still plenty. Trust me.
At least you're in the Constitution, and so for sake of black women, I'm just saying.
Where?
When they start
3/5.
talking about the 3/5, I'm saying at least they refer to the man,
the black male,
but they don't refer to the black woman. So I'm just, just make you put a.
She said she needs to be in the conversation.
I just want to, can we get in the ink a little bit over
property? So I'm just saying, I'm property.
I know.
At least you're property. She can't. She doesn't even
invisible.
Well, first, hold on. Let's do this.
2022. Okay, nobody has addressed it.
I got what you're saying, Doc. Okay. And here's the thing about it. And I'm just gonna be honest. Let us become unproperty first. That way we can go get our queen.
Save us, okay.
That way we can go get our queen.
We'll wait for you.
They're coming for you.
I mean, I'm just saying, I can't come and get you if I'm still property.
Okay,
you get it?
That's a good answer. That makes it.
Good answer.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we wait.
What's the next comment?
Waiting on the black man to save us.
So,
I'm property.
But meanwhile, Jill, I think in your comment or somebody mentioned something about the land, or
yes,
I don't know if you did, but when you think about it, just imagine America if the white man had not been a thief. He wouldn't have stole the land from the Indians.
Steal it, they discovered it.
Wait a minute, come on here for a minute.
Okay, I got you.
They would not have stolen the land from the Indian,
right?
And then they would not have to steal us to work the land that they stole.
Right.
Oh, I got one
so
even better.
So on both sides of it, I'm just saying.
I got one even better.
Imagine what that would be like.
I got one better.
Okay.
Why did they leave their land? First and foremost, to run from something, to come over to another land to do the same thing they ran from.
Preach, brother, preach.
Somebody comment.
We gotta have a show tomorrow, don't we?
But that's what it's about.
I mean, does that make sense to me?
That's what it's about.
Yeah, he's pulling all kinds of stuff out of the bucket.
Please feel free to comment. That's what it's about.
They don't want this smoke. They don't want this smoke.
Right, but I'm just saying, I just start thinking about that.
I told you I got plenty.
Okay.
But, and that's what I'm saying. So, when you start thinking about the theft behind the whole movement.
Exactly.
And then for us, they stole us.
That's a profound thought.
Well, something, and I can't say that all the way. Mm-hmm. I can't let you say they stole us.
Because some of
us, we sold ourselves.
Well, that
happened.
Sold our brothers.
Yeah, we stole. I mean, you got some people that was over in Africa and the other countries where we was at, actually sold us to them.
Yeah. Right. Well, there's always a Judas amongst us.
Yeah. So you have to. I mean, we can't.
I mean, we gonna call a spade, but
exactly.
Our focus is on reparations. Yeah. We want to stay with who. We those reparations.
Well, back. I mean, and I understand
and why they should.
And I honestly say we need to go deeper and say, okay, not only you owe us reparations.
Well, yeah.
So and so over here
other people
that sold us to you owe us reparations.
And I think we might get into that tomorrow night.
Yeah. I told you I got plenty.
He does.
Don't do it.
So going into the next comment, which is from Miss Christina Wolf. She says, this thought just came to me. Doesn't it seem like monetary reparations are merely a means to buy forgiveness? Until we can rid our society of what divides us, are we really making things right in the first place? That's you
gonna go there first. You're gonna go first.
Go ahead. Break that up and talk about that.
I would say yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's buying,
forgiveness,
pacifying us. Here's where you go. Mm-hmm. Now, but here's where I say no, because if you give us what we worked for and we built
what we deserve,
yeah, that's not pacification. That's making I think Doc V, and she'll probably give us tomorrow. she broke reparations down to replace, repair, and something else. And I don't want to paraphrase, but I know you said that.
Yes.
So that's what we're talking about, is to replace, repair, and rebuild. So that's part of reparations.
Restore.
So if restore. So if you give us what is belonging to us, what you promised, what is due, then no, it's not pacifying us. But if you throw us, a couple of dollars, here, and it has to be an honest.
And you know what? And what has to be considered is, of course, the loss of income, period, over a span, the loss of opportunity. And that's what a lot of people
the biggest
forget.
thing right there. Regardless of money.
Yeah.
And that's
the
generation.
Loss, through generation.
After generation.
Yes.
Yeah.
The loss of opportunity.
But in her point, I would say, like, if they give us a stimulus check, because that's probably all it's going to equate to, $1,500, maybe
By the time they
split it down.
By the time you take the taxes, they're going to take half of it back.
Yeah.
But that may be a fact if they give us that 640.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that tomorrow. But if they give us that, but if they begin to close the wealth gap and they look at things for what it is today, that wealth gap, it would actually take $11 trillion to close that wealth gap.
We're going to talk about that
And
tomorrow.
so, and that's what I'm saying. But
I got plenty on that.
I'm just saying, but that number sounds a lot better when you think of $11 trillion.
Right.
Now, and we're going to get out of here on this one because this is a long one.
Man, you didn't get to finish talking about hers. But go ahead. We're going to talk about that.
Well, let's not.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you wanted that.
Go ahead.
I apologize.
Go ahead, bro.
Okay.
I'm so proud of you guys today.
Why, we ain't arguing?
Yeah.
Look at
They're trying to be on their best behavior so they can get the reparations.
because tomorrow they're gonna let loose.
That's right. Y'all be good.
Now,
Y'all might get it.
now this is from a very loyal viewer. I'm not going to discredit.
Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ben.
What's up, Ben?
Ben always has a conversation for us. I'm not going to say a debate. I'm going to give him his proper due.
Dialogue.
Ben always has
Yeah.
a
A debate.
Yeah.
debate or conversation or dialogue for us. So his point is, it's not that simple. You cannot just say black people. He's talking about reparations. There were also black slave owners, except not all black people were slaves. Not all slaves were black. If that is your premise, reparations to any family estate that can, probably acknowledge harsh and unjust treatment by the U.S. government is a conversation we can have. Okay, I'm going to put a period right there.
Okay, I was going to say, period right there, real quick. I was going to say, I do agree with what he's thinking.
Me too.
But I say, everybody got to fight for themselves. So we trying, and you see how hard it is. You see how long the bill's been out there. We trying. And so I agree with you. There's been other people that has suffered hardship and went through slavery, and they're going to have to fight too.
Yeah.
Well,
So if we join together, we might make something happen.
Well, I mean, a lot of people like you got, other cultures have gotten reparations.
Hold that thought.
And that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow.
No, because it's in the. I really want you.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's
Okay,
in here.
go ahead.
So I want you to hold that thought. I'm not
Okay.
cutting you off. I'm
Okay.
just saying, hold your thought because it's. I'm gonna get to that.
Yes.
Stop cutting me off.
No, I'm not cutting you off. I just want
We just
you
want to get
address
Ben's
it. Go ahead.
full comment here.
Okay.
Wrong.
So it says, I put a period right there. Unjust treatment by the government. All right. That's not just limited to black Americans, though. For example, U.S. treatment towards certain Native American tribes could apply. Here you go. Also, Asian American families who were thrown in internment camps during World War II and Irish indentured service as well. Asian students have been racially profiled and denied college access. Also, veterans and families, black veterans families who were denied the GI Bill benefits in the early World Wars, and any veteran who was severely injured due to weapons of mass destruction campaign and were denied the benefits. I could go on and on, but if it is provable, it is a cruel and unjust treatment, then let's have that discussion.
I agree with that.
Okay. There you go. That's
can
why.
get in?
Yeah, that's
My
why
turn?
I wanted you to hold your
It's your
point.
turn. It's your turn.
Because he was addressing that.
Yeah.
Okay, first I'm going to address the vets. First and foremost, regardless if you are a vet, this land, if you fought for this land, there's nothing in this land you shouldn't be able to get. Period.
I agree with that.
Hands down.
I agree with that.
There's other cultures that have got their reparations.
Yes.
There are slave owners that got their reparations. But at the end of the day, when it comes to the black culture and the black people, and when we ask for something, I'm tired of asking. We shouldn't have to ask for reparations. We shouldn't have to ask for anything. You know that our ancestors built this country and got stuck with nothing.
Yeah, I got you.
So at the end of the day, we could end it with all. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Ben, but when it's all said and done, our culture built this country. If you look at the way that Washington is built, it's built off of Africa. How they got their statues and how they got their buildings set up. It's set up the same exact way. Bruh, do your research.
It's a reason for that, too.
And there's a reason for that. Yeah. So at the end of the day, even blacks built the White House. Come on, bruh.
Yeah.
Let's make it make sense.
And I got to get behind E on this. I really got to. And
the white people messed up the black people diet. No.
No, we jacked our own. Well, no, I can't.
It's true. Now I can go to
that one. I didn't see that. I didn't see that one coming.
I didn't see that one coming either.
But and also, as he said, yes, if you research Ben, the Asian Americans were given reparations for the being in internment camps. You mentioned the Asian students that were denied college loans. What about the years where black students were not allowed to read? Not allowed to go to public school.
Go to any school.
Not to go to school. So
zero opportunity.
So I totally agree with the thought that you have, but your thought is precise, but it's not concise because you're
I'm just saying because families were separated.
Families,
so
we was ripped apart.
All of that.
Yeah,
babies taken from their mother's nip.
And I got another one.
And hold on, I want you to say this, E, but I have to say this to you, Ben. Your conversation, and I know many people have this conversation, but that waters down what reparations really is. When we start nitpicking and saying this group got it, this group got it, this group got it, this group should get it. But the fact of the matter is, it takes the focus off of what is really the purpose and the conversation of reparations.
That's right. And every time it seems like black people try to stand for themselves,
we get knocked out.
Every single time somebody else takes a different stance on it and they look at it like it's a negative or like we trying to be negative, and that's not the way it is.
Reality.
We're just trying to stand for ourselves. So many times you've heard people say, well, why don't you do something about it? Why don't you do something about it and stop looking for a handout? Well, when we try to come together to do something about it, to make a change for better, for our culture and our community, people take it the wrong way and they're offended by us standing together.
Yes.
But the LGBTQ plus, they stand strong and unified together, and people expect it and respect it. So,
I'm gonna go another way with it, and it's recently. What about the refuge they bringing over from Iran?
Yes,
they finna get their reparations within the next few years,
right?
Because they was blown over here, and so, bruh, I mean, you gotta understand that's just. You see how America have done the black culture.
Right. And it's probably because we're still 3/5.
Yeah, we're property.
That whole Asian hate bill, how quick that was passed because some Asians got knocked around, and we've been getting knocked around and lynched forever. And look how long.
The anti-lynching bill just after 60 years.
Well, you know what, though? In Biden's defense, that Asian bill was probably a lot easier to read than the bill that we've been talking about because it's been sitting there so long that the words are like all jacked up.
Well, they got to get it from underneath.
Right. The paper's all
the other bills
written on stone. But anyways, we have to get out of here. So first of all, we wouldn't be able to have these discussions if it weren't for our awesome audience and followers and everybody who does comment and engage. And again, we welcome all opinions, even if we don't always agree. We don't always agree up here either. So I usually don't agree with anybody up here. So anyways, we want to thank you for joining us tonight and invite you to continue this discussion tomorrow at 8:30 while we continue to discuss reparations. We'll see you then.